main takeaway from this previously on seems to be don't get all broken up over America's pube. Pinning up a memo about your high security project is a warning to not talk about your high security project. Also, I was really excited to find out what nervous system mystery was revealed, and, as it turns out, had men rose from down Lady Abel, its son him furrers proceed 6 parlors. And if that wasn't surprising enough, differed and Felicity steepest Mrs. Age outweigh. Opinions learning likewise daughter now. Mind blown. Thinking anyone watching this shower scene prefers this mother-f***ing snake on this mother-f***ing spine over the long-awaited reveal of Carl's Jr.
Butcher, the world doesn't end just because your life does.
Show doesn't think the plummeting viewership following Butcher's death will make Amazon rethink that season 5 renewal.
Come meet the 7 in person.
Saying come meet the 7 and showing us 7 pictures, but those pictures not being 7 pictures of the 7.
Get an exclusive sneak peek of training.
I'd like a rewrite of this joke where they keep Will Ferrell, but instead the title is A Training Day. Just hear me out.
King Kong ain't got on me!
After their bloody campus rampage, Marie Moreau and the other Godolkin 4 have seemingly vanished into a dark, gaping hole.
TV commercials positioning about some details from the other show as if it's not just a dark, gaping Easter egg.
And this will be a quick meeting.
It won't, but I'm excited because it looks like the real hero of the story is finally going to be bureaucracy. Let's see all the fun things they get accomplished.
Gets them out of the military, policing, tanks their stock, buries them in lawsuits.
So Annie delivers a bunch of exposition about what the soup control bill will do. Got it.
Your PR department is kind of the bed. Your ad buys during CSI Las Vegas are definitely winning over the left the TV on because they're dead demo.
Then she insults his PR department, CSI Las Vegas, and the dead respectively. Not as productive as I was hoping for, but we're on a path to a real zinger, I'm sure of it.
I can get people into the streets all over the country.
Okay, so a vague plan to drum up support. Riveting, and much more fun than the violence and dismemberment we usually get from this show. Of course, I will have to comb through all of this thoroughly for an accurate sin count. Eventually. Maybe. Probably never. 5 should cover it.
All I saw was his ankle. He had these scars, or these burns, maybe.
This is why you always go shrimping. You never know in case your lover turns out to be the hitman that killed your family and has a distinguishing mark on their ankle that just so happens to be the only way you would be able to identify them as a killer. Happens way more than you would think.
What are they doing?
Quite obviously, they are building a stage.
We need the algorithm to find the most receptive users, then blast the articles to the top of their social feeds.
I'm horrified by this accurate portrayal of how social media works in real life, but this lacks the soup-flavored creativity that I was hoping for. The Boys is now just giving us villains that exist in the real world.
I find you repulsive in a way that's difficult to quantify.
You might find that a sin counter works quite nicely in this regard.
You know, when I first met you, I thought you were kind of uppity, but you're one of the good ones.
I'm aware Sage may have immediately drawn up a plan in her head to remedy this at a later date. At least that's what I'm rooting for. But Firecracker will survive this longer than she has any right to.
We are the new kids in the 7.
So what you're saying is that you have the right stuff.
Please tell Sasha to have them go easy on the room service, okay? That card is almost maxed out.
Room service? You do know Whataburger exists, right? And that it's much cheaper than room service? Unless you order from an airport Whataburger, then you need like 3 credit cards. F*** you, LaGuardia McDonald's, and your $25 value meals.
Team has shot one total asshole and we need this mother.
Funny, because Huey suggested bringing back Butcher in the previous episode when you said you wanted to flip A-Train, and you told him no. Hey, have you guys met Consistency? Never heard of her. Office parties where you're forced to eat ice cream cake with a fork.
How about a game of waste paper basketball?
Episode has time for this.
Funny, isn't it, how people can have such a different memory of the exact same thing.
It's called the Mandela Effect. It's why we all fight to the death over the Berenstein Bears. And no, it's not funny, it's terrifying.
Get in the oven or your family goes in with you.
Murdering your trash can basketball competitor before they have a chance to beat you in the game you challenged them to. If this was an option for normal people, I'd win a lot more of my Smash Brothers tournaments.
What the is this?
A-Train more succinctly sums up my thoughts on this episode.
V's the only thing that can save him.
Okay, but you know Compound V has to be infused from a young age to have the highest chance of success, so why not ask A-Train to wrangle up some Temp V instead? It has healing powers and isn't lethal after a single dose. Wouldn't that be smarter, Huey? Wouldn't it?
Are those guys? Stretch light, shining light.
That is some grade A, farm fresh, all natural bullshit. There is no way Huey guesses shining light from Kimiko pointing at a lamp. He's just as likely to think Pixar is trying to kill them both. Kimiko gives Huey a captain of middle management shield that ends up being way more reinforced than any file cabinet door not wielded by a main character. Also, she definitely did not try to not kill Huey here, right? Chekhov's oddly specific fire extinguisher.
Straight up web weaver stinky spider. Heroin enemas don't come cheap, my son.
Thank you for the part of the exposition that doesn't really explain how you got the dirt on Firecracker at all, beyond some other Supe was willing to barter oddly specific drugs for it.
Emma, got a favor to ask. I need you to get Ryan away from Homelander.
These guys are completely off task right now. Episode has drifted dangerously close to familial drama and away from super-abled blood orgy.
Starlight. That's 9 letters. Or is that 6? Upside down.
Don't know, don't care, but it's close enough to math for a sin.
I need to confess my sins.
Oh, this is a rare occurrence. Let's see if it yields a sin removal.
I had inappropriate relations with a sweet young man. But that young man, he was 15 years old.
Ew. No.
She blinded one of those hostages that day, a mother of 3, just trying to buy crunch berries for her kids.
Well, that mother got what she deserved. Crunch berries suck.
Mademoiselle Annie!
Does Frenchie barely try to be there for Annie because he's an asshole or because it's necessary for the plot? Debate.
Well, whatever you attempted, seems you have failed.
Not as badly as the seams and stitches below your shirt collar failed.
You left a floater in his toilet?
Ashley, this makes you a devious, disgusting, and vengeful corporate puppet. But if you'd left an upper decker, you would have devoted yourself to an ideal.
And if they can't stop you, then you become something else entirely. Legend.
I had about a couple of minutes to myself to do what boys do.
Having the guts to torture a man alive, but not to say the word masturbate.
Mm-hmm. That's the spirit.
No, silly. That's a gentleman's sausage.
Marty, it looks like you're shucking a little mushroom.
This asshole has been shucking mushrooms? Not that I did before, but now I definitely do not trust Homelander's cooking. Episode tries to capitalize on the recently popularized Hawk Tua.
Whoa, you're getting blood off my boots, Marty!
None of the scientists in this room explained to me how a wound from a laser blast isn't cauterized. Calling Kimiko's name before shooting her with a grenade. Also, Kimiko not using the heads up to avoid the grenade. This guy's not nearly as ashamed as he should be for taking this long to kill Huey. Character's past catches up with them. And is about ice cream. Cliche. This is not an either-or situation. You very well could fight and die.
Are those my f***ing medical records?
HIPAA violations always get you a sin.
She was raised a Christian. She knew the difference between right and wrong.
So if she'd been raised Pastafarian, would you let her off the hook?
Annie, wait.
Does MM barely try to be there for Annie because he's an asshole or because it's necessary for the plot? Debate.
So you finally came to the...
Yes! Thank you! I mean, this moment where Annie finally lays a well-deserved smackdown manages to be the cathartic relief that I'd been hoping for every time I had to hear Fireworks spout some ignorant, pandering nonsense. But it's also gut-wrenching to see Annie overcome with very real pain and pushed to the brink when her actions ultimately undo everything she's been trying to accomplish. This isn't the kind of sin removal I'm happy about, but if you're gonna deliver emotionally complex situations like this, I have no choice but to hit you in the face with one. Analytics is just another name for anal math. We've seen Starlight's power screw with TV signals and electricity in every instance she's used them. So why do these cameras stay on and connected despite her beating the living shit out of Firecracker? Did Vought send some Starlight-proof cameras? Scrolling at the urinal. I guess they'll have to hunt her or some derivative Batman bullshit because she's the light knight now. Damn it, Nightlight was right there.
Get up!
Oh, cool. We're doing that thing from Moon Knight where the hero passes out right before the awesome action scene. I love that. It's not disappointing at all.
You know.
Butcher doesn't say diabolical in this scene.
What the happened?
Well, you see, Butcher has some weird ability or side effect from all the V he's been taking, and the episode is really into edging us about it.
I really do want to share with you why I called this the bad room.
And despite this desire, we must cut away now because suspense!
I feel like I've been fixing you up so much lately. I should build your HMO.
An HMO instead of a PBO? Come on, Frenchie, in your line of work, you don't want to be worried about doctors and networks and authorizations.
Most people, their brains grow till they're about 25, then stop forever.
Actually, for most people, the brain stops growing in size by early adolescence. And from there, it's all about fine-tuning the brain and mental development, which typically continues until around the age of 25. Perhaps it's just a minor distinction, but I'd expect a bit more accuracy from the smartest person on Earth.
I want you to put this inside me.
You didn't have to make that sound sexual, but you did. And now I can't sin the deep for saying...
It's the worst dildo I've ever seen.
And I love sinning the deep.
Now avoid the eye itself. I don't want to go blind.
Trusting the deep to learn how to lobotomize this quickly. At least make him watch a YouTube tutorial.
Scrape.
Scrape. The boys always got to be sad in town, and never just back in town.
I'm telling you, quit while you're behind.
Thing my 5th grade PE teacher used to say to me during every game of dodgeball somehow makes it into the episode. Huey takes off his coat to reveal another coat and a hoodie. This is too many things that I consider coats.
Doctor said any time now.
Allow me to once again sin the fact that you've had Simon f***ing Pegg in the last 4 episodes just lying in a bed. Oh, great. And now you're going to tease me with the idea of a Super Simon Pegg instead of just Super Simon Pegging me. Wait. This modern art is grotesque and leaves far too much to interpretation.
Cake or death? Cake, please.
John? Homelander.
Oh, you're using their made-up names.
They raise you up. People to cake is coming.
You flip your Maserati, hit your fucking head.
But this is bigger than us.
This is big business. This is the American way.
I learned this game from you, Frank.
Who taught you how to do this stuff?
You, all right? I learned it by watching you.
I had inappropriate relations with a pirate.
Earth, wind, and fire. You don't get to quit. Get up.
A few moments later.
You f***ing dog wanker.
Have been watching and protecting.